We're going to start with laying out our bus phases and our devices for this demo purpose. So go to your schematic tab. Under insert wires and numbers, select multi-bus, and we're going to enter in the horizontal 3-phase multi-bus lines. Once we've inserted our phases, we're going to insert some devices. So let's go to your schematic under icon menu, and we're going to select our circuit switcher. Insert your circuit switcher, and your dialog box will pop up. We're going to do a lookup on it. Once we do a lookup, we're going to select the circuit breaker. And this information is very important because all the information that's associated with the devices will be used to generate the bill of materials. Enter in the description lines and then press OK. Next, we're going to insert our transformer. So back to the icon menu, select your transformer. And we'll go through the same process. So we'll look up, search for your transformer. We're going to assign the catalog data to it. Insert your description lines. And in this case, for the transformer, we're also going to insert the ratings for it. So at the bottom of the dialog box in the left corner, we're going to insert the ratings. In this case, it's 100 kV, 12.5 kV. Press OK. And as you can see, all information with our CTs and everything is already associated with this transformer. So next, we're going to go ahead and insert some more devices. So let's insert our relay, so our SL relay. And it's going to be the same procedure. In this case, this relay has everything already filled out. So just do the lookup for it so we can associate the information and data with this relay. Press OK. Assign catalog data, and then press OK. Now you will continue on with all of this with the remaining of the devices that's associated for this demo.
This Inventor model is a representation of a very small portion of a substation. Here we have the transformer, some PVC conduit, the buried trench, and a panel with some switches that would normally be inside the control house. In the demo, we'll be focusing mostly on the control box, trench, and the panel switches.
Now that we have our devices laid out, the next phase we want to do is inserting wires. So under your schematic tab, under insert wires and numbers, select your wire, and your dialog box will come up for your wire type. The wire types for this purpose have already been established for you. And this is important because this data, when it's exported from AutoCAD Electrical to Inventor, Inventor can actually read this data, and it will help your Inventor designer with establishing or setting their wires in their portions. So go ahead and enter in your A phase, your B, and your C phase from your bus down to your circuit switcher. Let's just jump over and let's go ahead and enter in a few wires from our relay over to our switches. So selecting your wires, in this case we're going to select the wire layer name of A_4C12. Go ahead and press OK and enter your wires from there. Let's go ahead and enter in one more, and you will follow this procedure throughout the completion of your wires.
The trench depicted in this demo is shown without the ditch boards or covers for simplicity's sake. Although not required for its placement, here we are placing work points inside the trench to work as guides for the harness when we get to that point.
Now that we have our devices and wires inserted into our layout, we need to add in wire numbers. And I'm also going to show you how easy it is to modify a wire number. So under our schematic tab, under insert wires and wire numbers, we want to insert wire numbers. We can do project wide, individual wire numbers, or drawing wide. In this case, we're going to select the drawing wide. AutoCAD Electrical will go ahead and assign the wire numbers based off of the wire types throughout the entire drawing. And as you can see, at our bus phases, they all represent CCC, which is incorrect. So let's change that. We need to change the first one, our A phase. I'm going to right click on it and then change convert wire type. Select your A phase 100 kV, and AutoCAD Electrical will go ahead and reassign that wire number based off of the wire layer type. Do the same thing for your B phase 100 kV, and we're all set. But I realized that I did not add wires coming out of my secondary transformer, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's add our A phase 12.5 kV, and we're just going to add this wire in. Our AC schematic layout actually has a primary and a secondary side, and in this case we're just going to draw the wires out, and we're going to add reference points in there to represent the secondary side instead of showing the entire layout of the secondary side, and I will show you that later. So let's go ahead and tag these new wires. So we're going to do tag new unnumbered wires only, and as you can see, AutoCAD Electrical will tag those new wires that we just placed in there.
So in my Inventor model, I wanted to incorporate the component pin locations and the wiring between the transformer and the panel where it is located in the physical world. This is one of those critical interaction points where one discipline ends and another begins. Initially, I wanted to make sure to label the electrical component pin locations identical to what they are called in AutoCAD. This is to avoid the step later in which we would have to assign them. And it just makes sense instead of naming them something that is meaningless to the PNC guys. Here I place the pins for one of the panel switches. And then the pins for the terminal blocks in the control box.
Now that we have our devices, our wires, and wire tags associated with our project, the next thing we need to do is export our data from AutoCAD Electrical for Inventor. But first, you can see here that I have a reference only arrow because we have other relays that we're not going to represent on this drawing. So we're just going to reference only and do to bank 1 differential. And we've done the same thing for our secondary side on the transformer. But let's go ahead and export our data. So under the Import Export Data tab, you want to go to Export and then go to Inventor. Your dialog box will come up and it's going to export as an XML file. In this case, we're going to do the active drawing only because we're only working with one drawing. If you have multiple drawings, you can do the entire project. So go ahead and press OK. It's going to direct you where you want to place your XML file. In this case, we already have a file associated with it. Have one called ACADE XML, but we're going to name this one ACADE XML underscore complete.
In my next step, I need to import the XML Justin exported from AutoCAD into Inventor. So I activate the cable harness environment. And use the import harness data to locate the XML file Justin created. Then I expand all parts, wires, and cables I need to work on my assembly. It's then that I notice the cables are missing from the data I imported.
So in this step, we're going to add in our missing cables from our previous export XML file going from AutoCAD Electrical to Inventor. So let's add in some cable markers here. So to the insert wires and wire numbers, I'm going to add insert in our cable marker. And let's go ahead and change this cable type to 1F. Under the description, let's go ahead and put the actual cable size in there. So actually we're going to put in 4C12 instead of 1F here. And under the second line description, let's put the wire size. Let's just put 12 AWG. Press OK. So AutoCAD Electrical is going to ask you if you want to enter in the child component. So press OK. And let's go ahead and add in for the description for CN. And we're going to do this throughout. And it's going to represent the actual wire type that is there. So press OK, repeat. Let's do the same thing. And we're going to enter in CA. OK, repeat. Let's do CB. And then lastly, for the 1F, we're going to do CC. Now we need to enter our cable markers in for 1K. So now we're going to go back up to insert wires, wire numbers, and insert a new cable marker. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to change this one to 1K. Enter in our first line description. In this case, it'll be 2C12. And then we're going to enter in 12 AWG. Go ahead and press OK. We're going to insert our child components here. The first one will be for the CG. And we're going to rename this one to CG. Leave the line 2 as is. Press OK, repeat. And the last one for our CN. Once we have all our cable markers associated with our project, the next thing we need to do is export our XML once more. So go back to your Import Export Data tab, go to Export, Inventor, and go ahead and export our active drawing out again. Save your drawing. And as you can see, we already have one in there, AutoCAD XML complete. Go ahead and overwrite that one. And now the updated information is in our new XML.
Within minutes, he shoots me an email to let me know that the XML has been updated. After I get the go-ahead from Justin, I import the XML data again. Next, I step through the data and assign the electrical parts to my model components. I also make note that the cables are there. Creating this relationship with them takes just a few minutes to complete and associates them to their AutoCAD counterparts. Since not all components in the demo are in the assembly, some will remain with warnings. I do the same with the imported cables. Since I don't have all of these in my library, I would normally select Add to Cable in Harness Library and specify the required Inventor data to add to it. However, in the interest of time, I have already added them to my library. After I select OK, I let the cables populate.